So Attensi is a global company redefining the way companies train and develop their employees. So we're a gamified learning and development solution, which can sound like a complete mouthful when you mix in all the buzzwords. But ultimately, our concept is simple, and that's to simulate any real-world scenario that people need to be trained in. We gamify it, make it realistic, make it fun and engaging to really create that learning by doing approach, which is ultimately learning through play. We really say, bring yourself to the interview because we want to know you on and off the resume. And we want people that ultimately are able to embody our core values. So we do have 3 core values. They are not these completely abstract, conceptual terms. They're actually built into the way that we work and the way that we operate today. So the first core value for us is being a game changer. So we strive for customer impact. We always want to push the boundaries of what's possible. We exist to challenge the status quo of learning and development. And we want people that are comfortable asking those questions of, hey, why do we do it this way? Or have you considered it doing another way? And we want that person that's not okay with doing something because that's how it's always been done. So that's one. Our second core value is being super fast. As a pretty nimble scale up or more of a startup in the US, we want to be able to figure out what works and what doesn't very, very quickly. And we are people powered, and we want people to come into the business and see that very quickly. And that is built in the recruitment process. But we know that our people are a differentiator. We know our people are why people stay at Attensi, and we like people that can come in, speak freely, be able to speak their mind, challenge us, regardless of your title or whether someone's been here for 5 years or not, and be able to be a team player at the end of the day. So we're either finding candidates directly ourselves, or we're reaching out, or we're having candidates find us directly, whether that's directly on our careers page or one of the many job boards we're on, like LinkedIn, VentureFizz, Indeed, or Audit as well. But what we also find a lot of success in is candidates actually reaching out to us directly. So you'll notice on our website, on our careers page, each rep will say who the talent acquisition manager is for the role. And it will also say, hey, these are your future colleagues. And since we're pretty new to the UX space, we do see a lot of success in folks finding, hiring managers' LinkedIn profiles or future teammate LinkedIn profiles and sending a message directly as well. So we have a pretty consistent interview process across all of our roles, regardless of department. Usually that starts out with a 30-minute, we'll call it a phone screen, which is a video call over Teams with a talent acquisition manager on the role, really doing high-level details, but also seeing what questions you have, really assessing, is this a conversation that you want to continue as well? Because our biggest thing throughout the interview process is reminding ourselves it's always a two-way street. You're interviewing us just as much as we're interviewing you. If it makes sense to continue from both sides from there, you'll go into a 45-minute call with the hiring manager. So it's an opportunity for you to meet a potential manager, but also for us to go through some more of those second layer details when it comes to the operational aspects of the role, and focusing more on a role-specific interview in that sense. And then for most of our roles, we break out into some sort of practical assessment or role play. We want to see you in your element and be able to give you feedback in that as such. So usually for our sales folks, that looks like a role play of trying to book a meeting with a prospect. On the marketing and PR side, you're taking content that we've put out and what are you doing differently to make it better? Or on the people side, maybe it's, hey, this is how I run a recruitment process end to end. We want to see you operating so that we can ask you questions about your approach. How do you handle things when maybe things do take a left turn you weren't planning for? And that's also in conjunction with some take-home assessments. Now, you don't see these as much in the US as you do in Europe, but it is something that's proven significant success in our hiring. And we always say we want you to meet as many people as it makes sense. So we want to give you an opportunity to meet a leader of the business, whether that's our co-founder and CEO, our chief commercial officer, our GM of the US, our VP of commercial ops. There's a variety of opportunities, and usually we'll set that up so you can also hear a little bit more of the vision of Attensi as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we really want to see people off the resume when they come. We want people to feel comfortable. Our hiring managers do such an amazing job of really trying to get to know you as well. Because for us, at the end of the day, yes, we are a tech company with very lofty goals, wanting to move super fast, but we want to enjoy who we're doing it with. And that's really important to us. So I always say, bring yourself to the interview that you can. And I think something you'll also see throughout Attensi is not just in the US office, but globally, there's a deep sense of intellectual curiosity. I really say ask the questions you actually want to know. It's very clear when you're getting a canned question versus you're asking something you deeply care about. So we love when we see candidates bring those questions to life in the interview process. Now is a really exciting time to join Attensi, especially here in Boston, because at the end of the day, we are still in our building phase, which is really exciting. So we're about 25 people on the ground. We've only been in Boston for just about a year and a half. And while we've had tremendous success, whether that's new clients in the door and growing some really amazing existing logos and building a really amazing team, at the end of the day, we want people bought into our mission, that see the bigger picture, that we are here in the US to build a business together and figure out how the heck we get to make this work in the US. And it's a lot of fun doing so. And that's really the challenge at hand that we all get to take on as a team. And that's why right now is a really exciting time to join Attensi.